of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
TV presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Welcome back to another episode of You and Your Doctor, sponsored by All County Healthcare. We are a certified home health care agency servicing Palm Beach County, Broward, and Miami-Dade. And you can reach us directly, 954-717-7027. And some good news, we are growing. So All County Healthcare, we're actively seeking RNs, LPNs, PTs, and OTs to join us here in All County Healthcare, same covering Palm Beach County, Broward, and Miami-Dade. Please call Andrea at 954-717-7027. We actually have 2 job fairs coming up. The first one is Amarant Bank in Sunrise. That's Thursday the 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then on November 8th at the Plantation Central Park Community Center. That's at 9151 Northwest 2nd Street in Plantation. And tonight I am super excited to introduce everyone to Tracy Leschinsky, who is the owner of NP2U, and you can reach her at 561-901-1182, and she can be reached at tracyleschinsky@gmail.com, and I'll spell that. TRACEYLESCHINSKY@gmail.com. She also has the website painrelief2u.com. Thank you for coming today, Tracy.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be back.
I am excited to get into the nitty-gritty and discuss all these wonderful devices that we have going on. But before that, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and how did you start? Where did you go to school? And why did you choose this?
So I've actually been practicing now for 25 years.
Oh, nice.
So started as a nurse working in the hospitals. I did that for 7 years. So I did ER and critical care. And I was kind of pushed by 3 doctors to get my nurse practitioner and applied and went to FAU for that.
Nice.
And started practicing in 2005.
Okay.
So did internal medicine for a period of time, then a little bit of urgent care to bring back that ER background. And one of the managers for the urgent care had me spend some time with a pain management physician.
Okay.
And that was it. I completely in love where I should be.
You found your calling. It sounds like you found your calling.
That was it.
So why is it that what were you able to identify with? How did you realize, okay, this is what I want to do, pain, help people? What was the feeling that you had?
When you see when someone is in so much pain and you get them out of pain and what they do with their lives from that, it's so rewarding. So I can't think of anything better than making somebody's life better.
Absolutely. So now, tell us a little bit about. I know you have a mobile service. What is your area that you cover? What are the counties that you cover?
So I go Northern Broward and Palm Beach County.
Okay.
But that being said, if there are special cases, I do drive if people do need it.
Okay. Nice. So when you go to an assessment, you go to someone's house, what is it that you do? Do you talk, maybe they're on meds, pain meds, what is it? Can you give me an idea of what it would be like to sit down with you? How long would the session be or whatnot?
Once I get the patient's information, so I accept a lot of insurances, but the main insurance that I accept is Medicare with a secondary.
Okay.
Because with Medicare with a secondary, they don't pay anything to me.
Nice.
Which is something that's important to me because I know how, finances are these days, and it's much better when they don't have to pay for things.
Yeah.
So the service is basically free when they do that.
Wow.
So I go to them and do a full assessment, head to toe. We talk about what the problems and issues are, and for an evaluation, that's when we formulate our treatment plan on how we're going to fix things and make their lives better.
So I have a question. What if you see somebody and they're telling you, I've been on pain meds for 2 years. I'm sure you hear this all the time. And they want to wean off of pain meds. They don't want to be on pain meds. What would it look like? What would their experience be like through that journey?
So that's getting off meds is the easy thing. I have a device that'll do that for them.
Okay, nice.
That'll take them off without any withdrawal.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's amazing.
And that's covered by Medicare. So.
That's amazing. So people, I guess, what are the other, besides pain meds, are they getting like cortisone injections? What are some of the things that you're dealing with?
So that's that device.
So what is this device?
So this beautiful device here is an ultrasound that I use. So if people have issues with joint pain or spine pain, I use this device specifically for joint injections, nerve blocks. The nice thing about this system is it's down to the millimeter. So there's no way I'm missing.
Oh, down to the millimeter of the location, you're
Yes.
saying? So
there's no way to miss.
So let's say they tell you, oh, I have a pain in my shoulder.
So I do a full ultrasound of the shoulder,
okay.
figure out what the problem is, and then from there we formulate a treatment plan. Here are the things that we could do. Here are the things that will work, won't work. Here are your options, and then we go, jump off from there.
So what do you think a typical, how many treatments does someone like, I know everyone's different, I'm sure, but what do you think is an average? Is there an average? I don't know.
It depends on what the issue is for the patient. I mean, a bursitis or something like that, usually one injection and they calm down. And
what is bursitis?
Like a bursitis in the shoulder, an inflammation in the shoulder, or an inflammation in the knee. One injection, it calms it down, and that's the end of it.
Okay, so what are we injecting them with?
So usually when I do a joint injection, I use multiple modalities. I will use a short and a long-acting pain medication, and a short and a long-acting anesthetic.
Oh.
So by the time the short one is kicked in and working, then the long one kicks in. So they get extended pain relief. So by the time that wears off, their problem should be gone.
That's amazing. So you're evaluating them with the ultrasound, and you're able to see down to the millimeter where the location is.
Correct.
You're able to target it, and you're able to give them the injection. Wow. So all types, all areas, back, spine, I don't know, knee.
Hips, shoulders, everything.
So what if someone's saying, well, doctor told me I needed to do a knee surgery, and I don't know, I've been putting it off. Once they find the relief, is it maybe they don't have to do the surgery?
Possibly.
Really?
Yeah,
it's possible.
I've had several patients that have treated with different modalities that have avoided surgery.
Interesting. That's amazing. Yeah. So once you get through this, when do we use this, and what is this? This is like your pride and joy. This is like your baby.
We call this my James Bond case.
I love it.
James Bond.
So what is this all about?
This is a very, very neat device. So this is a neurostimulator that is programmed to the patient. 3 programmable leads and 1 ground lead. And basically I program the leads to the patient. Where they're having pain, if we need for opiate reduction. Pain relief is lasting as long as 16 months with 1 treatment.
What?
So,
what is this doing? This is like Star Trek. This is like Star Trek stuff.
It's a really, really neat device. So it sits behind the ear, so like right about there.
Okay.
And then the leads go into the top part of the ear, and they're programmed. So basically, if you're having pain in your back, I will program the leads to especially assess back pain. So it will be programmed for a cycle of 2 hours on and 2 hours off, and it's done for 15 days. By the time I come to take the stimulator off, most people are off pain meds and out of pain.
So they're wearing this for a period of time.
15 days.
15 days, and you're able to do a program where you're able to.
So it's programmed prior to placement.
Okay, and then it will automatically know that it has to go do whatever the cycle is. Now, are they feeling any type of?
Some people do.
Okay.
Some people don't. There's no way for me to really know whether they do or they don't until it's placed. Usually people will say to me they feel it immediately thereafter. But usually that goes away because the brain adapts to it.
Right. Our brains adapt to a lot of stuff, doesn't
it? But that's the whole idea behind the device. It works off of neuroplasticity to change the brain. So it will tell the brain you are no longer in pain. Now it doesn't make it that like if you bump yourself you're not going to know.
Right.
But it does make it that that constant chronic pain that you have is gone. So
what is it about the ear? I think I was asking you, what is the mechanism? Or
so it kind of corresponds to the upside down fetus.
Right.
For lack of a better way to put it.
Yes.
And it basically works directly to channel to the brain the pain relief. I mean,
because it's a signal, right?
Yes.
If we get hurt, we get pain, it's a signal to the brain. So it's oh, I love that. So it's like stopping that signal, I guess.
Correct.
So they don't have that signal of pain. Correct. And when you say it's neuroplasticity, can you explain to a little bit more about neuroplasticity?
It basically means that the brain can change. So you've been in pain, you've had migraines for an extensive period of time, and basically it works to tell the brain that you're not having these migraines. The headache is gone. The headache is not there. And after a 2-week period, that headache is gone.
So it's creating new neural pathways, new channels.
And it shuts down that old channel, so the pain is gone.
Yeah, so I'm picturing it, as you're talking, I'm picturing it like a car down this dirt road that's been down that road like 500 times. It has a divot, and it has that road. It's like a new road.
New road.
It's a new road. Wow. So I can't even imagine if you can share with us a couple of stories, some feel-good stories about some experiences that people have had.
So what I will tell you is, so the first I'm going to lead with is that my worst success, my worst success was a 50% reduction in pain with a 75% reduction in opiate usage.
Wow.
That's my worst success.
Wow.
Best success, had a patient on hospice, 200 milligrams a day of morphine, off hospice, off morphine in 3 days, and this lady, God bless her, she has a more active social life than I do. Goes out every day, wines and dinners, and she just is, it's a new life for her.
Where was her pain?
She had chronic abdominal and pelvic floor pain.
Oh, wow.
And was on hospice for that, which breaks my heart because they said to me that she really didn't have maybe a month. And the first device that I did, 16 months of pain relief. And then I was called back in and said, can you do another one, fix it again? And we did another device back in August, pain-free.
That is amazing to me. I am sure when people are hearing this, they're going to want to, if anybody wants to call in.
If they have any questions.
Please, if you have any questions, 888-994-4995 Studio A. Please feel free to call in, because I know there are people out there right now in chronic pain.
They don't have to live that way.
They don't have to live that way. People think it's like a life sentence. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027. Or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to our show. So let me quickly announce All County Healthcare. We're actively seeking RNs, LPNs, PTs, OTs to join our home healthcare team covering Palm Beach County, Broward, Miami-Dade. Please feel free to call Andrea. She's the HR director. Her number is 954-717-7027. We do have 2 job fairs coming up. Amerant Bank right here in Sunrise on Thursday, October 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then on November 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. right here in Plantation Central Park Community Rec Building at 9151 Northwest 2nd Street. And thanks for coming back, Tracy.
Thank you for having me.
So let me just announce your website is painrelief2.com.
Correct.
And Tracy Leschinsky at gmail.com. And so, you know, I venture to say there's not a lot of nurse practitioners doing what you're doing, this mobile concierge type of medicine. I feel like it's needed.
Well, not what I do, not in pain management, but the mobile community is growing.
Okay.
Multiple internal medicine that go to people's homes, dermatology, ophthalmology.
Oh, so that
dental.
community is growing.
Yeah, it is actually hugely growing.
Yeah. I think maybe they're realizing it'll stop people from running to the ER, because maybe some people just, they get whatever, they run to the ER.
But it also is a convenience.
Yes.
Imagine not having to wait in a doctor's office.
Oh, yes.
You're waiting in your own home.
Yeah.
And we come to you.
And I like that, because when you go to someone's home, you get what experience do you have? You get a glimpse into their lifestyle. How does that affect your whole, you know?
A lot.
Tell us about that.
Because you get to see what they're going through on a daily basis. So not only am I looking at them, I look at their environment.
Right.
And see what they are dealing with and what else can I do. Even doing pain management that I can do to make their lives better. Sometimes it's getting help in for them.
Right.
It just depends on what the person needs, but there's no reason that they need to really wait in a doctor's office. There's so much that can be done at home for these people.
And it's really good, because I feel like you going to their home, you can be an advocate for them. Like
Exactly.
if they need a home health care attendant, or they need an OT or a physical therapist, you know, they can call us, but or you can recommend, or you know, what they would need, which is really important.
Well, I will tell you this. So on a personal level, I've been now prescribing for All County, and I've been thrilled with the service. The communication is wonderful.
Oh, wonderful.
And the nursing care has been fabulous. So
thank you.
Very pleased with their service.
Oh, we're happy to hear that, because that's the mission. We want to be able to, you know, help everyone that we can.
And it helps when we're all on the same page.
Yes.
To bring better quality of care to the patient.
And that's the bottom line, you know.
Because that's what matters.
Yeah, absolutely. So how often are you, like, I know you said last time you were on, you've been in business for a few years, but last time you were on, like, just been skyrocketing, word of mouth, I say.
It's word of mouth, which is wonderful, because a lot of it's growing because of the device.
Yeah.
And the word of mouth from the device, which I'm the only provider in a 250-mile radius that has the device.
Wow.
So, and especially the fact that it's covered with Medicare and a secondary, they don't have to pay for it. They really don't have anything to lose.
That's so true.
Except for the pain that they're in.
Right.
So
Can't go wrong with that.
it's a good thing to take a chance on.
I would
Imagine
say
life
so.
without pain, right?
I know. I can. Do you have people like playing golf again, or what are some stories of what they're back to doing?
Washing cars, bought a dog because now I can go out and walk and take care of it, you know, a pet. I mean, it's just amazing that the things that the people are doing.
Wow.
I have a lady that, very, very nice lady that her pain management physician called me and said, what did you do? Because she was homebound. And now she goes out every day and she's walking at least a mile. Off all her pain meds.
This is miraculous. Do a lot of pain management doctors, do they know about this? I feel like this is...
I don't think they do,
Yeah.
because that's why I got called. He's like, I don't know what you did to my patient, but she's off of her pain meds and she doesn't need my services anymore. And I'm like, well, this is a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
That she does not have to go to a pain management doctor anymore because she's better.
Yes.
What a concept,
What
right?
a concept, right? To wean them off. And let's go back to that. You mentioned something about you're able to get them off the pain meds. And
Correct.
How does that work with the withdrawal, like if they've been on opioids for a time?
So typically what I'll do is I will typically program one of the leads for opiate reduction. And what I will tell them is if they're on a short-acting opiate, you know, the first couple of days, you take it if you need it. And most of them by themselves will stop it within 48 to 72 hours. They just don't want it anymore because they don't need it.
Right. And they're probably curious, well, let me not take it and see if this is really working, because
And
they
they
want to
do-
know
and they do.
if this is effective.
Exactly. So usually they'll start weaning themselves down.
Right.
And by the time I come back, they're like, I don't need the pills anymore.
Wow.
This is a beautiful thing.
This is a beautiful thing, because I know, you know, opioids in this country, it's just been
Hard.
It's been very challenging because there are other solutions, and
There are.
And thankfully, your solution seems to be working fabulously, and more people get to know about this, because there's a lot of people out there that are, you know,
That need it.
and they're suffering. Yeah.
Well, especially in, you know, the older population. You know, you give them opiates, they become constipated. It affects their breathing. It affects their mentation and their mood. A lot of them become depressed. How about we just avoid that problem?
Right.
There are other options,
Wow.
and that's what I offer.
What about, do you have maybe hospitals that are calling you, or some people saying, I went to my VA, or I'm in pain and they can't do anything, or what's?
So I do round every day. I go to Delray Medical Center. I work for a wonderful physician.
Nice.
Dr. Dacino, who
Okay.
has an office in Lake Worth. So I do see patients in the hospital, and if they are appropriate for this device, I am allowed to treat them outside of the hospital for it.
Oh, okay.
So patients that I treat, I typically go to.
Right.
They don't come to me, I go to them, because it's concierge.
Right.
And there's no charge for that.
Wow. This is amazing. I'm loving this. So we have 2 minutes left. If you can just kind of share with everybody in the last 2 minutes, what is it that we can do maybe to avoid pain, or to live a better, healthier life, or I don't know, from your years of experience as a nurse practitioner, what are your suggestions?
So the biggest thing that I'm going to suggest is that people, if you feel like you're being dismissed by your physician and you're having chronic pain,
Right.
you don't have to live like that. There are options that are out there, and I'm happy to listen, because when someone's complaining that they're in pain, there's usually a reason. And if we can fix that reason, you don't have to live like that.
Yeah, it's so true, that key word you said, if you feel like you're being dismissed. Because sometimes you know you're having pain, you know something's wrong, and you want to really get to the root of the problem and figure out what it is. So
Yes.
we get to keep fighting and keep advocating for ourselves.
Exactly. And if your physician is not advocating for you, you have to advocate for yourself.
Right.
So you don't have to live that way.
Right, and get a second opinion, or call, everybody, call Tracy at 561-901-1182. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next time for another episode of You and Your Doctor. And don't forget the all-county healthcare. We're hiring for RNs, LPNs, PTs. Call us at 954-717-7027. Thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you
care.
for having me.
Of course.